Well, hello, everyone. Happy Trump Day, Hump Day. Get your dot on, my friends. This is what it's going to look like once you do. I would love to see, you don't have to buy anything, but if you go on to snedshop.myshopify.com, you will see yourself pop up. And I think it's pretty cool. We used to do this back in the day. And so I welcome you to join us and see where everyone's at. Um, snedshop.myshopify.com. Welcome, one and all. What a day today. Just to kind of recap, we're in Asia. He's going to be meeting with Xi. I don't know what happened. I just lost. Yeah, I just lost that. That was wild. Yeah, we got someone coming out. I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to change it to this one so we can make out a little bit better where everyone's in from. We got north of Boston. We've got Ohio, Tennessee, Louisiana. God bless all those down in Jamaica and Cuba. Melissa. Um, and let me see if we got anybody across the pond. And we do not. Let's see if we got anybody down in Australia. It's not letting me view that. Let's see. What do I need to do here? Here we go. Australia, we do not right now. Okay. But it's filling up in the US. I see another Ohio, looks like New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Hard to make out. We got, looks like possibly Western Pennsylvania as well. We've got Missouri or Illinois. We've got Austin. We've got, let's see what we get. Sierra Vista, Arizona. We've got California. Yeah, very cool. Thanks for joining us up by Sacramento there. Kansas City. That might be Moonbeam down around Atlanta, South Carolina, Mississippi, again, New Orleans, another one in Texas, couple down in Florida, Tampa, the West Coast, the Gulf Coast, the Gulf of America, up in Washington State. Awesome, folks. Northern California, Colorado. Beautiful, beautiful to see all of you. Thanks for playing along here. Pretty cool. And that's a little bit bigger view of that. So today basically as a result of the meeting in Korea, man, we've got a lot of investment, a lot more investment coming in. President Trump posted just 3 hours ago. South Korea has agreed to pay the USA $350 billion for a lowering of the tariffs charged against them by the United States. Additionally, they have agreed to buy our oil and gas in vast quantities and investments into our country by wealthy South Korean companies and businessmen will exceed $600 billion. Our military alliance is stronger than ever before, and based on that, I have given them approval to build a nuclear-powered submarine, excuse me, rather than the old-fashioned and far less nimble diesel-powered submarines that they now have. A great trip with a great president of South Korea. So again, more incredible investment and also kind of penalties, if you will, lower the tariffs, $350 billion. Folks, this is what happens. I reposted this on X and I said, this is what happens when you have a businessman and a negotiator in the position of POTUS, of President of the United States. Shout out to Spiritual Street Fighter for the thumbnail. Q plus obliterate the deep state is that full graphic there. The artwork that she does, she does not use AI. And I am very honored that she allows me to use her artwork for our fabulous show. And I'm very much looking forward to many more shows with her. That looks like, oh, I had to move that. But I'm losing part of my backdrop here. Let me get that back in there. There we go. All right. And see how I got some new wheels on my on my chair, because as you remember, one of the wheels was broken, so I had it rigged, but it didn't last very long. But I got some new wheels on my chair. So it moves around. They're rubber, so they moves around a little bit smoother. So huge investment into the United States. Now, it's amazing all the good that Donald Trump is doing for this country, and yet to also witness people, not just with Trump derangement syndrome, but because we already know they exist, and many of them may be the 4 to 6% of the population that Q has said that we will never reach. But it's the Trump derangement, the Trump Israeli derangement syndrome. And it's the reason why I cut off Charlie Kirk. It's the reason why I cut off Candace Owens. It's the reason why I cut off Ryan Matta. And I think some others in there. Nick Fuentes has got that quite a bit. And so these people, there's nothing that I know that they don't, or they know that I don't, other than Q. Okay. And Q has made us aware of the problem with the present leadership of Israel, and also that we're saving Israel for last. And so we as Anons, or as patriots who follow Q, we know that there has to be a comeuppance there. And I believe we're going to see that. And so I'm holding out hope for that. And also based on everything else that I've seen him do. Again, the two major tools used by Israel are the media and now social media with their influencers and the money that they're giving them at $7,000 per post. And also the banks. And President Trump is basically dismantling the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and that's going to, I believe, collapse the central banks around the world, and it's going to free up the world. And also with his work and his support for crypto, especially American crypto companies. So, be on the lookout for that. And it's definitely going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds. But the thing that I have, I guess, over some of those people is that I have spent countless hours studying, checking with Q, and making sure that I'm getting the facts, and I'm not using outside comms either. Let me share a few things with you. One is Laura Loomer went on Steve Bannon today, and I'm going to play a little bit of that for you. And this is how this looks. This is very interesting and very important for us to pay attention to this. So let me just pull it up for you here.
Even to the leaders of Hamas so that they weren't killed by the IDF.
Hold on.
Are those our allies?
I got to back that up. Sorry.
I think it's important, Steve, for people to remember that we could have had the hostages out. We could have had the hostages out 2 years ago, but it was the Qataris that were providing safe haven to the leaders of Hamas so that they weren't killed by the IDF. Are those our allies? Where are the dead bodies of the American hostages that we were told that were going to be turned over weeks ago when this peace deal was finalized? Where are the bodies? We don't have the bodies yet. Qatar controls Hamas at the end of the day. They do. So I think that we need to have a real conversation, Steve, in the GOP, and hopefully, amid all this Israel derangement syndrome that we're seeing from many people on the right, you don't see these people ever talk about Islam. You don't ever see these people talk about the threat of Islam, Steve. And they got to stop being so obsessed with Israel and so obsessed with the Jews. It's not the Israelis that are going to have another 9/11 here in our country.
No. Hang on a second. If Netanyahu and if the Israeli government had dealt straight with us, you wouldn't have had this problem. They're liars. They've been stone cold liars. They gave bad information. So I'm not going to let that go unchallenged. That's just bullshit. Okay.
Well, people need to just start talking about the Islam.
Boom. Okay. So Bannon calls her out. Flat out calls her out. The exact same thing that I would do. Okay. Calls her out, and watch her reaction. Okay.
Well, people need to just start talking about the Islamification more.
Was he talking about the Islamification? Look at her face. She's so happy with herself because she knows she's going to get the money that she just earned. Okay. So Bannon calls bullshit.
Bad information. So I'm not going to let that go unchallenged. That's just bullshit. Okay.
Well, people need to just start talking about the Islamification more. They need to talk about Islam more.
By the way, I've been the tip of the spear on the Muslim Brotherhood forever.
This is true. Bannon has called out the Muslim Brotherhood maybe before anybody, okay, other than Anons, okay, and even before that, actually. And so she's telling the guy that probably was at the forefront of that movement of trying to make us aware of that. She tells him people need to start talking about Islam more. Totally changes the subject, and effectively so. Bannon just rolls with it.
And you're seeing a huge pushback on this. We can do it if we unite. We definitely should have the Muslim Brotherhood designated a terrorist organization, and that will change everything. But don't sit there all innocent about what Netanyahu's
he does double down, which is good.
Netanyahu's government has been atrocious, and we should have regime change in Jerusalem, and we should have it immediately. They've lied to the American government. They've lied to the American people consistently.
Who are we uniting with, though, to designate the Muslim Brotherhood?
See, she totally ignores that, goes back to Muslim Brotherhood.
Hold it. We can unite with many elements of I just want to spend 4 days in Texas. The people in Texas are prepared now to step up and take a hard stand against the Islamification of Texas.
Right.
They're out there. But you got to reach out to people. You got to work with them.
How come Marco Rubio hasn't designated the Muslim Brotherhood? We're 9 months into the administration. Steve, you told me yourself, you pushed so hard for the Muslim Brotherhood to be designated during the first term, and you said that they tried to bite your head off for it. You said that the one thing that you received the most pushback for was trying to designate the Muslim Brotherhood. You and I have had so many private conversations about this, Steve. You told me that the one thing that it was like a no-go zone was the Muslim Brotherhood. So I just want to know what the hell is going on.
By the way, Well, by the way, you're going to have to go after Wall Street. You're going to have to go after the tech bros. You're going to have to go all these guys. Look, it's doable. The American people support us, I think, 100% on this. American people want the Muslim Brotherhood designated a terrorist organization. Once you do that, so much stuff changes. But you can't whitewash. You hurt your argument by sitting there and trying to defend Netanyahu. It's just not happening. Anyway, we got to bounce. I got other guests I got to get to.
I am not sitting here defending Netanyahu. What I'm asking for is that all these, I just want them to dedicate 5%.
Hang on. You say Israeli derangement syndrome. It's not Israeli derangement syndrome. I certainly don't have it. What I have is the Greater Israel Project that was never done, and no due diligence was done. The American people never signed off that. The Trump administration never signed off on that. That's a Netanyahu. We need regime change in Jerusalem, and we need it tonight. Okay? Everything that comes out of Netanyahu's government is a stone cold lie. Okay? And the Muslim Brotherhood is 100 times worse. I understand that. They hate America. They hate the West. It has to be dealt with. But you can't sit there and whitewash and say, oh, everybody's got to get off Israeli derangement syndrome. We don't have to. I don't have derangement syndrome against Israel.
I didn't say that people can't be critical of Israel, but I don't ever see any of the people that focus all of their efforts on criticizing Israel. I wish that they would criticize Qatar as well. My point is that if you're going to criticize Israeli influence in American politics, talk about the Qatari lobby, because the Qatari lobby has substantially way more influence on our American politics, Steve, and they spend way more money. They own way more real estate, and they're giving way more political favors to American politicians than the Israelis. The Qataris have the type of money that people dream that Jews have.
I don't know if they have more influence, but I will tell you what they've come from a place that they were almost overthrown by UAE and Saudi Arabia in June of 17 after we had that first big conference in Riyadh, and they refused to sign the terrorist financing memorandum. I mean, they were in our grill. After that, when that regime came within that close of being overthrown, they went on a cash jihad. You're absolutely correct. They spread money around everywhere. There's no doubt about it.
Well,
and I keep saying they're the railhead. They're the railhead of the financing of the Muslim Brotherhood.
So very well handled, I think, by Bannon. Okay, but also.
For people to remember that
here's what's important to know is then she went on and posted this. I'm America first. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. I'm America first. I don't support regime change. I went on Bannon's War Room to talk about Chinese aggression in Venezuela and why we need to designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign Islamic terrorist organization, which I do believe will happen. Israel is an independent country with their own elections. It's America last to dictate regime change. So again, doubling down on it's not our business. Oh, really? If it's not our business, then why are we giving them so much money? Okay. And so she doubles down on the Muslim talking point versus even questioning Israel and Netanyahu. This is an important part. On Tuesday, there are elections in New York City. Now, you may not be concerned with New York City, but this is a very important, I think, an important link. Remember when President Trump said the election of Zohran Mamdani will maybe the best thing that ever happens to the Republicans. And the reason I think, well, I'm going to get into that here in a little bit, but just listen to this back and forth here on the denaturalization.
Amen. Muslim Brotherhood's got to be designated a terrorist organization. I worked on that for years, and I got to tell you, the pushback is enormous inside the apparatus. Real quickly, Andy Olgas, myself, and others are saying, hey, this guy's a Ugandan citizen. He lied on his naturalization forms. Do you support the Justice Department getting on it like immediately and looking if this guy lied on his naturalization process, denaturalizing it and deporting him out of the country?
Andy Ogles is coming on my show tonight. He's going to be joining me on my show in a couple hours, and we're going to talk about this. But again, Are we really serious, or is this more performative bullshit? I need to know. I need to know. Are we really serious? Because we've been talking about the Muslim Brotherhood. And I'll tell you, Steve, if we would have designated the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization during the first Trump administration, when it was promised to us, the American people, that this was going to be done at the Trump administration, we wouldn't have a Zoran Mandami. Zoran Mandami and his entire campaign apparatus is a byproduct of the Muslim Brotherhood. Qatar has funded years of Zoran Mandami's mother's films, okay? Qatar has funded the Islamic 501c3 organizations that are propping up Zoran Mandami and abusing their 501c3 status to wage jihad here in America and to support the campaigns of all of these Muslim candidates. And so, yes, look, it'd be great if the DOJ would get on this soon, but, you know, look at how many people in the Trump administration have lobbied for Qatar. I hate to go there, but it's true.
So just pausing on this for a moment. Mamdani, just to know about who he is, Mamdani is a couple things. One, let me just quiet this background here just a bit. That he was born in Uganda. Lived there till the age of 5, went to South America, lived there till the age of 7. When he came, his parents brought him here to New York and in the United States. He was naturalized in 2019. Now, the only thing that they're going to be looking at, and this is Andy Ogles and Fine, they're going to be looking at did he lie on his citizen paperwork, right? And he did not mention that he was a member of the Democrat Socialists of America. Now, this is not a what do you call it? A terrorist organization, but it is a communist. It is a socialist organization. And so there, and he did not report that he was a member of that, and that could have possibly affected his entrance into citizenship. However, reversing citizenship has only been done 100 times in about 50 years. So the chances of that happening are slim and none. But what it might bring together is the Muslim influence, especially given the fact that, I don't know if you know this, but Mamdani is a former rap musician, and which is very, very interesting. But he does. Let me see if I can find this here. So basically, he has a song called Salam, and the lyrics are very anti-Trump, anti-border wall. What's my aunt gonna do when this all goes down? Salam means peace be with you in I believe that is Arabic. Yes. And so this was during kind of the Muslim ban. And so, you build up the wall, we'll tear it down. It's very anti-government or anti-president. But it was also written at a time where I believe it was 2017. He did not get naturalized until 2019. Let me double check that. Born in 91. So Andy Ogles from Tennessee, Randy Fine from Florida have formally requested the DOJ investigate his 2018 application for potential willful misrepresentation under 8 U.S.C. 1451. So far, no formal investigation has come. So, excuse me, it's going to be very interesting. But basically, this is he goes by young Cardamom on here's one of his
nyumba's not too far. You're meeting someone. This trip is even cheaper than sambusa.
So I don't want to play that for copyright strikes now that we're back on YouTube. But this is Zoran Mandami. And he was, this rapper. So very interesting history of him, and also anti-Trump, anti-American. The question is, realistically, will that affect his citizenship? Let me play the rest of this for you.
I mean, I just can't help but bring this up. I mean, I like Pam Bondi, but she lobbied for Qatar. Kash Patel lobbied for Qatar. At the end of the day, the administration has a Qatar problem. You had the Emir of Qatar flying on Air Force One the other day. This is a problem, Steve. And so are we really going to push for denaturalization of all these Muslims in our country? Are we going to see denaturalization of Zoran Mamdani, or is Qatar going to run an influence? Because
Now, what she does not mention is that Hamas was created by Israel and funded by Israel through Qatar. She'll never bring that up. Okay.
Emir of Qatar is now best friends with Donald Trump. I mean, I'm sorry, but it has to be said. I am a diehard supporter of President Trump's, but there is such a lack of awareness in this country right now by the GOP. How can you criticize Zoran Mamdani and then say that Qatar is our ally? Do people not understand that Zoran Mamdani is funded by Qatar?
Now, this is a legitimate, concern. And who else are they funding? Now, what I believe is going to happen is that we're going to see
Muslim Brotherhood's
investigation. We're going to see. And again, this goes back to Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to share some with you about excuse me. I just lost my train of thought for a moment. Okay. The Charlie Kirk event, and I'm going to get to some Candace Owens stuff here shortly, because she's still asking questions. She's still concerned about some of the people involved, and she's one of the few people. She, Ryan Matta, are asking these questions. Myself, some smaller, some people are absolutely torching this narrative, which is what we should all be doing. Because he was not killed by a 30-06, and that's still the story. Okay, that's still the story, and it's not possible that he got shot by a 30-06. I've showed you ballistics. I've shown you what it does to things. It punctured cement this thick 3 times, 3 inches of the cement that holds your house up. The foundational bricks, the blocks with the holes in them, but they have cement, then the hole, then cement, and then the hole, then cement. And it went through 3 of those and hit and made a mark on the 4th wall of cement. Okay. This whole story about Man of Steel, it's all bullshit. But the difference is, those people, Candace, Ryan, they're calling out Kash Patel, they're calling out Bongino, they're calling out Trump, and saying that they're not doing their job, and that they're absolutely negligent, and for them to be pushing this narrative is absolute bullshit. Candace Owens even called out Don Jr. because Don Jr. and Charlie were very, very good friends, and but they don't see the importance of that narrative. Okay, this is why this is so very important for us to understand this, right? And that is that if we don't go down that narrative of the trans movement, the funding of Antifa, the funding of the trans movement, the funding of this violence against the right, the violence against ICE, the violence against somebody like Charlie Kirk. I watched today, I got 3/4 of the way through the Nick Fuentes interview with Tucker Carlson. If you have the time, I recommend it. But Nick Fuentes is somebody who has been absolutely demonized for challenging Israel, for challenging Netanyahu, for challenging this genocide in Gaza. And so this isn't something that we should demonize somebody for asking questions. And that's exactly what's happening. And it is not organic. Just like that communication between Laura Loomer and Steve Bannon, it was organic from what I could tell from Bannon. It was not organic from Loomer. She was the goalie, and Bannon was firing shots at Israel, and she was knocking everyone away. Hey, look at the Muslims over there. Look at the Muslims. Look at those guys over there, and knocking off these pucks from ever entering this sacred realm of, Israel and challenging Israel. Okay. So, but what they're not seeing is how very important it is to get to the funding sources of all these not just get to the funding sources, because Q already has it all. The NSA has it all. Doge came in, they saw where all this money was going. I guarantee you they already have all this, but they want the American people to want to see who's funding, for example, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's why that narrative's so important. I blew that narrative out of the water live on day one when that happened. Okay. Definitely on day 2, definitely on day 3. I went live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, blew it out of the water. Okay. So we have the same thing in common. We have the same thoughts in common. But what they don't understand is the importance of that narrative. So I'm not going to be critical of Don Jr. saying they're doing a good job with the investigation. I'm not going to be critical of Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, who are, they're giving us comms, folks. See you in Valhalla. Hello. Witness protection. I'll see you there. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. The investigation has more holes than a block of Swiss cheese, and there's no way they expect those of us who are challenging, asking questions, there's no way they expect us to buy that horse shit. But with greatness comes responsibility. When we understand that narrative is complete bullshit, then we ask the following question: why? Why would they push that bullshit lone gunman, et cetera, young guy, transvestite, involved in these organizations? Why would they push that bullshit story? 30-06, no fucking way. Why would they push that? He got dressed, he got undressed, he got dressed again. He took the rifle down, he reassembled it before he put it into the bushes. The bushes were on Palantir owned property. I mean, there are so many things about or surrounding the Charlie Kirk event, but the good that's going to come out of it, to me, is a part of the show. And it is the final 2 sides of the triangle collapsing. Saudi Arabia already collapsed under the purge of 2017 before Q started posting after the LA Las Vegas event shooting. Okay. A lot of people got shot. A lot of people got killed, including, by the way, witnesses who were saying there was more than one gunman. Okay. The guy who was set up for that as the patsy was a fucking spook. All right. Without question. So, but look what happened after that. The purge in Saudi Arabia. So that was the first side of the triangle to fall. The second is going to be Soros through the investigation of these funding mechanisms. So that's very, very important. And then because that was such bullshit, and they know the people that are awake are calling bullshit on it, who else do we look at? If he is in fact dead? Israel. Without question. They've got, I showed you the Wikipedia on it. Thank you, Ryan Matta, for that, by the way. And you just scroll and scroll and scroll. And it's basically, Israeli assassinations over the years. And it is multiple pages. I scrolled for minutes. So are we to just oh my God, if you think it was Israel, you're anti-Semitic. Well, that's the narrative without question. Okay. This woman on the left is one of these podcasters who is an Israeli apologist, and watch these two get into it.
You just hate Jews. I will not. No, I don't.
You just hate Jews. I don't. This woman is going to say she does not. Why do you have to say you hate Jews if you simply challenge Netanyahu in the Israeli government, in the Israeli intelligence? Why all of a sudden do you hate Jews? We question the American government. We question the American intelligence, the CIA. We question American wars that we got into. Do I hate Americans? No. This is this is the narrative. This is how they're doing this.
I hate Jews. Then why can't they live in the West Bank? I hate disgusting, why can't they live in the West Bank? Propagandists why can't a Jew live in human Gaza? Beings like trash like why you. Can't, you just hate Jews. I will not.
Jeez. So these people are downright, we already know these people are getting paid. Okay. This is Tucker and Nick Fuentes. They had a very respectful conversation. And I liked hearing Nick talk about how he was kind of attacked and when he was as young as 18 because he was coming out very pro MAGA, very pro Trump, and yet was also challenging what he was seeing, because Ben Shapiro, when he had only 1,000 followers on X, he posted something, challenging of Israel, and got like 100 likes. But then Ben Shapiro on Christmas Eve, by the way, they basically Shapiro retweeted him, and he kind of blew up from that, which was very, very interesting, right? Let's see. So very, very important conversations that are being had, but we should absolutely not forego having these conversations by just calling each other names and making this about more than it is, which is challenging a present government and a present, it's bigger than that. It has to do with, the book, and who in the book should be treated well, who in the book should be treated poorly. And we must avoid doing those kind of things and actually have communication between one another so that we can, really get to the bottom of things here. okay, and not just, demonize everyone who is challenging governments and intelligence agencies like we are. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I thought I bookmarked that Candace bit, and it was MJ Truth Ultra who made the cut, but for some reason he's got a ton of stuff on here. JD Vance was at a Turning Point event. Okay. Now, this is very good. This is about 9 minutes long, but I want you to see this because she's the only one that's still asking questions about Charlie, and she's going to talk to us about how much military surrounded Charlie, because she's getting into this military apparatus that has that I believe is very, very likely a part of the Q operation because of all these military people involved. But she sees it as a very bad thing. Certainly it's a bad thing if they actually killed Charlie. No question about it. But if they just put a squib on him, hit him with electric shock or something to blow up the squib or, whatever. Again, I've done this. I've made it look more believable than you can imagine. Not me, but I'll hire the people that know how to do that. But you can put a patch of skin right here that looks just like your skin, and boom, a hole blows out. It's that easy. Okay. And I would have to do that. And every movie you watch, every TV show you watch, everyone's killing everybody nowadays, that they're completely gone way overboard on that. But every time you see that, you think it's real. That's under, lights, camera, action. That's like Zeiss lenses and Panavision 35 millimeter film. It's like really high quality, and yet you still believe it. It still looks real. Okay. All we saw were a bunch of camera phones on Charlie. Okay. But I will continue to share Candace on this show. I will continue to share stuff that Ryan Matta does, because they're Ian Carroll, even, that they're still challenging the Charlie narrative, but they don't understand Q. And I believe that's what they're missing out on. And it's a big stretch for people that haven't researched Q. But damn, if you share this show, please tag them, because I would love to have a conversation with them about this. And I think it would completely change their perspective. Let's listen to Candace.
Climbing Turning Point USA, as you know, became a behemoth. I remember speaking at their conferences and saying that they were now running like a military operation. It was so efficient, on time, it was tactical. And I did not realize at that time how prescient that thought would become. Because as you guys know, in my old age, I have grown increasingly interested in genealogy, because you really start to recognize certain patterns when you look into who people's fathers are, who their grandfathers were, who their great-grandfathers were. And the one thing that has shocked me about Charlie and Turning Point USA is just how many military characters were surrounding him. Even in September 10th, people that were in the hospital, right? Let's just, take a look at the chart that we have put together. And this is in an early phase, but it's interesting at the very least, okay? We've got Frank Turek. And Frank Turek, if we want to go through this, we got Andrew Colvett, Rob McCoy, Mikey McCoy, Tyler Boyer. Let's start with Frank Turek, if we have that card. And Frank Turek, again, has been honest, former officer in the U.S. Navy. And then he turned to Christian apologetics. He has two sons that are in the military, fly planes, as well as one of his son's spouses that's in the military. Again, he's never lied about this. Andrew Colvett, by the way, if you don't know, I didn't know. I don't think Charlie knew. Certainly not when Tyler brought him or when he got hired. His brother Captain Kurt Colvett is in the military. His cousin, Captain Robert Colvett, is high up in the military. So that's interesting. Very interesting to me, at least, because I just am like, oh, that's kind of something I was not aware of. I thought he was just a PR guy, someone that was working PR and was found and things, went forward. Obviously, Rob McCoy, another pastor, but a pastor with a very strong military background. Pastor Rob McCoy, his father was a naval captain, Roy Edgar McCoy, but also, and this is kind of shocking, his father was also the assistant chief of staff for psychological warfare in the Navy. Psychological warfare. This is the name of the game. And that trajectory is increasingly interesting to me. I think we have this clip from an investigative journalist named George Webb, who speaks a little bit further about Rob. And obviously, this is Mikey McCoy's family. Take a listen.
McCoy does have this strange military background. He does have this strange, seemingly putting his son in there and guiding the hand for this new apostolic revival. That he is a NAR person. He is kind of the NAR push for Charlie. Charlie was meeting with NAR. NAR were the $25 million and above donors from the Christian right. The Ziklag was the name of the organization. So all that's correct. That's correct information. And
what happened in my life after that was I went from PragerU, and you got a pastor, from the military, 2 pastors from the military there. I'm telling you, Marissa, straight military. I then went to obviously the Daily Wire, and the president at the time of the Daily Wire was also a naval intelligence officer who decided to become a pastor. That was John Lewis. And I'm like, actually, in retrospect, what are the chances that we just have so many military people that are in media? How organic is this? Who's the biggest person on YouTube? Right? I just got interested. I started asking questions like, are we in a military simulation? Mr. Beast. Both of his parents high up in the military. Do you think he really was just getting trillions and gazillions of views because people wanted to see somebody count to 1 million? Or is that interesting? But also, it might be relevant that his family's military, like high up in the military. Everywhere I looked, every time I was like, well, this person, I got interested even in Lila Rose, right? Catholic, does this whole, speaks about, and she's always been very lovely to me, speaks about the pro-life movement and converted to Catholicism and got a story there. I met her through Marissa. It's kind of the same people funding both. And it was kind of interesting. Like when I would see Lila kind of jump on the attacking the Christ is King or trying to rationalize why we shouldn't say Christ is King all the time. And she was like the lone Catholic that was doing that. And I then got super interested in her when she messaged me about Andrew Tate. And she had someone on her show that was Andrew Tate's, one of the accuser's lawyers. And I was like, this has nothing to do with the pro-life movement. What are you doing? I asked her. And she's like, well, and that woman then attacked me and Tucker Carlson. I said, that's weird. Like, that's kind of random. You're supposed to be the pro-life person. And you're talking about, and you're talking to Andrew Colvett's, the party to that lawsuit. You're talking to her lawyer. Why on your show? Why are you the first show she would pick? Why doesn't she go on like CNN or Fox News? And I looked, and of course, yeah, you got military all over that background. And I'm going, is anything not military? I'm looking at Barry Weiss and I'm looking into her grandfather. And there's a story that's just incredible. A bomb thrown on at his house. And I think it's in Philly or somewhere, and maybe it's Pittsburgh. And that's related to the casinos. I mean, the whole thing starts getting really crazy when you realize everyone's somehow attached to Raytheon, right? Mr. Beast, they're all attached to Raytheon in one way or the other. And I find that to be interesting. And there's more, by the way. I'm in the early days of research here, and there's a lot more I'm going to present to you guys. But I think we can all acknowledge that we were lied to about the 30-06, right? I know for a fact Charlie's neck was not destroyed. Certainly was not destroyed. And if I'm lying, sue me for defamation, and you'll learn exactly how I know that. This is what makes Andrew Colvett's tweet explaining the conversation with the surgeon especially interesting. You remember, he's like, oh, and the surgeon said, well, that would have taken down a moose. And, but Charlie's neck, he's the man of steel. And people rightly said that's not the job of the surgeon. That's kind of the job of forensics to say that. The medical examiner would be the right person to say that. By the way, who was the medical examiner? Who were the doctors? And any chance they were military? Any chance they were military? I'm just wondering. And here's what I've discovered preliminarily. The answer is yes, okay? The doctor who worked on Charlie was Dr. Lee Trotter. And regarding Dr. Lee Trotter, he did his residency on the Air Force Base, right? He completed a residency at the Keesler Air Force Medical Center in Mississippi. I think he actually might be in the Air Force from what I'm looking at. Can't confirm that entirely, but there's a person who matches his name, age, description, living where he's living, who is actually in the Air Force. And he also, for a fact, is a pilot. So it would track that he was in the military. That's interesting. The medical examiner, Dr. Deidre Smith Amaro, who that would be the appropriate person to have had the conversation with, also someone that in my dream, Charlie told me I should look into. She's a major in the Army. She's also from a major corporation. She's from the Erickson family. The Erickson Boyd Corporation is her family. She tells people that she is a direct descendant of Leif Erikson. This brings us into like Swedish Freemason stuff, okay? And I'm sure, like I'm certain she's an Erikson, like 1,000% certain that she is an Erikson. She's also now a lesbian. And I'm thinking, why was she just made a major in the Army? Why did they need this woman in? Why were people researching these doctors and this specific medical examiner? What the heck is going on? There's more. There's a lot more that I haven't covered, but I'm painting a picture here for you, okay? I think the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower forewarned of, the military-industrial complex that shot JFK to maintain power, has created a veneer of reality for us, and it is not so, right? We are under a veil. I think that these corporations, people that are put at the head of these corporations and we're told that they're geniuses, or if they're just so successful like Mr. Beast, these are military operations is what I'm signaling to you guys. So be aware of that. I think this military industrial complex has had a lot of actors. We have military grade actors, some of which I think were there when Charlie got shot. Weird.
So, again, the military, a lot of military people involved. So is this, part of the good military? Trump's not alive yet, my friends. I have the White House up. As a matter of fact, if you go to Snedheads, for example, and you go down to X and Truth feeds, well, actually, this will take you to the White House site. I should link the White House account, which is this on YouTube. So far, it doesn't look like they're meeting. We're still waiting for it. President Trump participates in a bilateral meeting. And so, but I'll go to that. So let me know when that goes live, if you will. And good to see you, Billy. Good to see you, everyone joining us, especially the folks on YouTube that are rejoining us over on David Snedeker. And welcome to you all. Dave Snedeker, actually. Although David Snedeker, I got that one back too. But so far, it does not look like they're live. Is anybody getting on? Is it on Fox? Are they going? Let me try another. Here we go. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm on Fox now. Okay, here there. There we
He's a
go.
very tough negotiator. That's not good.
Tough negotiator, but also they go back on their word quite a bit.
Could be. I think we'll have a great understanding. We have a great relationship. We've always had a great relationship. Which way? Thank you very much, everybody.
Wait, nobody else is going to the meeting. Nobody else. No. Everybody stay. Stop. No, stay.
So behind closed doors, they're getting into it. They're going to do several hours together, and this is big. And as I mentioned to you yesterday, it's no accident that that President Trump met with South Korea first, met with Japan first, because a lot of the things that he now has more bargaining power, because we're doing more business with Japan and South Korea, and there's no love lost there with China. So it really does boil down to it just seems to give President Trump a little bit more. Oh, here we go. This is behind the closed doors here.
It's a great honor to be with a friend of mine, really for a long time now, if you think about it. The very, very distinguished and respected president of China. And we will be having some discussions. I think we've already agreed to a lot of things, and we'll agree to some more right now. But President Xi is a great leader of a great country, and I think we're going to have a fantastic relationship for a long period of time. And it's an honor to have you with us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
President Trump, it is a great pleasure for me as well to meet you. And it feels very warm seeing you again, because it's been many years since your re-election. We have spoken on the phone 3 times, exchanged several letters, and stayed in close contact. And our joint guidance, China's relations have remained stable on the whole. Given our different national conditions, we do not always see eye to eye with each other. And it is normal for the 2 leading economies of the world to have frictions now and then. And in the face of winds, waves, and challenges, you and I, at the helm of China-US relations, should stay the right course and ensure the steady sailing forward of the giant ship of China-US relations. I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again. Our 2 countries are fully able to help each other succeed and prosper together. Over the years, I have stated in public many times that China and the United States should be partners and friends. This is what history has taught us and what reality demands. A few days ago, in the latest round of consultation, our two economic and trade teams reached basic consensus on addressing our respective major concerns and made encouraging progress. This provided the necessary conditions for our meeting today. Mr. President, I am ready to continue working with you to build a solid foundation for China-US relations and create a sound atmosphere for the development of both countries. Mr. President, you care a lot about world peace, and you are very enthusiastic about settling various regional hotspot issues. I appreciate your great contribution to the recent conclusion of the Gaza ceasefire agreement. During your visit to Malaysia, you witnessed the signing of the Joint Declaration on Peace along the Cambodia-Thailand border, to which you had provided input. China has been helping in our own way Cambodia and Thailand properly settle their border disputes, and we have also been promoting peace talks to resolve other hotspot issues. The world today is confronted with many tough problems. China and US can jointly shoulder our responsibility as major countries and work together to accomplish more great and concrete things for the good of our two countries and the whole world. I look forward to exchanging views with you on questions important for our two countries and the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to have you all. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, why did you change your nuclear plans? Why are you going to be doing more nuclear testing?
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There you go. That's it for the press. And by the way, the nuclear plans that that are being discussed right there, President Trump posted tonight, and I'll share that with you. His last post, the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country. This was accomplished, including a complete update and renovation of existing weapons during my first term in office. Because of the tremendous destructive power, I hated to do it, but had no choice. Russia is second, and China is a distant third. But it will be even within 5. But will be even within 5 years. Because of other countries' testing programs. I've instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. That process will begin immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald John Trump. Think about the timing of this. Now, Q has told us that Trump, Putin, Xi, and Modi are ending the cabal. They're all working together. So we're kind of going with that, but we also have to remember that the Chinese Communist Party is very, very strong as well, and especially the dragon, kind of the one of the top cabalistic entities on the planet that have enslaved the Chinese people with the credit scores and with the with all of that, and also how they treated people during the pandemic, especially being a part of spreading it out to the world. But think about the timing of this on the world stage, where we have the most nuclear weapons. He just said that we're going to be doing the kind of testing and expansion that China and Russia are doing, just to make sure that they understand that, we ain't playing. Letting the world know that President Trump is not playing. Like this is something that we're focusing on, because we've had difficulties. We've had things going wrong with this whole thing, with these countries that have, tried to, bully us with trade and with other actions, bully our entertainment, the people in entertainment for example, calling Taiwan a country. China has threatened those people for calling Taiwan a country, and they've had to recant that if they want to, sell jerseys in the. Remember when the general manager in the NBA said that Hong Kong should stay free and should not go back to communist China. And people came out against him, like LeBron James. Why? Because LeBron James sells a lot of jerseys with his name on it in China. It's a huge market. They're huge fans of the NBA. So what I want to do here, I want to take you to a couple President Trump posts. He gave us another QCOM today, by the way. Q confirmation, I should say, not com. But this was he posted this at 9:04 Eastern time. So let me take us to 9:04 and 94, as we always drop the zeros, and you have seen why we do that, because it's always gold. 9:04, for example, is just a bunch of letters that we don't quite understand. Okay. There are many of those in the Q drops, but 94, if she's not, I think they're gunning for her. How can she repay the money sent to Clinton Foundation for Influence? Do they have Huma? This is an anon asking, do the white hats have Huma or possibly Saudi Arabia? Review my other threads. This is why complete graphics are so important. Barack Obama paid the debt prior to leaving office. HRC is not currently in Saudi Arabia. Bill wants a deal, playing the former president card. Watch the cookie quickly crumble. Where does Soros fit in? Godfather 3. Well, I just got done telling you about the importance of this narrative that they're trying to shove down our throats regarding the Charlie Kirk assassination. Let's go to 49. Think Mirror, so that can they can investigate those areas. Follow Senator Grassley. This is very interesting. What is different effective this week? What do you notice? Why does Senator Grassley, one example, have a higher than normal amount of security detail? Why is Grassley and others held in a secure location? When did this start? What has been different this week? Uranium One FBI informant. Uranium One was tied to the money that Barack Obama paid the debt of Hillary Rodham Clinton for her influence, because part of that was the Uranium One deal. Have secret sessions been underway? How could this be discovered? What must be reported, even if filed under state secrets? It's a name recognized around the world. Alice in Wonderland. So I believe this has to do with Clinton and Obama, because they were responsible for the Uranium One deal, right? Now, so follow Senator Grassley. President Trump takes us to this tonight. Why would he say follow Senator Grassley? Well, let me take you to Senator Grassley's account. Halloween Corn Watch from the Hart Senate building. Harvest, folks, harvest. Another indictment, possibly. Okay. Who's next? Okay. And Trump took us directly to, Q drops to follow Senator Grassley. And we've been told by Q that, the harvest and dog comms. Dog comms are somebody dying. The harvest is somebody that has been harvested. It's okay. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to pay the piper. And yeah. So so this is so a very interesting drop. Now let me take you to President Trump. His repost. The best is yet to come. Again, another Q com because of the Q plus on his shirt, on his collar. President Trump reposted this. Okay. So another confirmation that Q, and I just took you to that confirmation last night, which was President Trump taking us to the drop with the Q cup. Okay. And that was very, very important. Now, let me take you to the, and by the way, this was a repost of, I believe it was Women for Trump. Women for Trump. This is it here. Okay. And let me take you to that timestamp, which was 6:06, which, as we know, is going to take us to 66. 6:06, Trump just tweeted 22-minute Delta marker. Amazing coincidence, always close after crumb drops. This was back in the day when Q, what Trump was doing, he was sending us confirmations of the Q operation back in 2018. Okay. But let's go to 66. We dropped the 0. It's a repost of an anon asking, let's be clear. You're telling us POTUS is currently under attack by our own intelligence agencies? Q responds, let's be real clear. The CIA just attacked the command in chief, which was immediately detected by NSA military intelligence and alerted to POTUS. Re-review all my crumbs, including today, yesterday, weekend. What does this mean? What actions are immediately occurring? If this leaks or the immediate action ongoing at Langley, you'll have your verification ahead of schedule. Now, I took you to a couple of President Trump's comms last week, which took us to the CIA. John Brennan has been referred for prosecution. Okay, for lying to Congress. John Brennan, the former head of the CIA. What's next? Who's next? Does that go to the next level? Does he get indicted? Or are we going to see Gina Haspel or Christopher Wray pop up? Okay, from the CIA. All right. So keep a lookout for that, and see if we can't get ahead of the head of the game on that whole situation. Okay, so let me take you to so again, President Trump for the second day in a row giving us a Q shout out, right? Which is very, very important. I want to thank OG and On, by the way, for alerting me to, because I hadn't looked at even though I follow Grassley, I'm getting like ridiculous posts in my feed. OG and On, probably the biggest corn comm we've ever gotten from Chuck. Another indictment incoming. There you go. So what's well, let me take you to my my feed. Again, dear Elon Musk and at support, can you tell me why I have Bath Houseberry, Gavin Newsom, who I left California because of, Chuck Schumer, Pocahontas, and Little Krasenstein in my feed? What exactly am I paying you for? If I wanted to hear from these deep state agents, I'd get a lobotomy and follow them. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Thank you for the 5 of you who reposted this. This is very important that we get this in front of people and let them understand that this is not the way you run a social media platform, period. Like I'm sick and tired of being absolutely propagandized on the X platform. Okay. You're not going to get that here, folks. Snedheads.com. Please come on over and join us. It's free to join. And you're going to love it. We got some great posts happening over there. And it's there's no censorship. You can support the platform at $17 a month. You're actually going to own the platform at $17 a month. That's what is coming up. When I say this is your social media platform, I mean it's your social media platform. Every member who is paying $17 a month or $170 for the year is going to have ownership of the revenue of this site as we grow. And as we grow, it's going to be going out to other people. And I'm going to change the name. We're going to have our group. We're going to have Snedheads. We're going to have our page. We're going to have our little small town. But I'm going to send it out to other influencers that they can share it out and take part in the growth and the revenue model that I am setting up, the tokenization of ownership of the revenue on this platform. So it's a very exciting thing. You're going to be able to gain more and more ownership. The more you share, the more people that you bring in. It truly is going to elevate everybody who is a member of this platform. And you share on TikTok, you share TikTok posts, you share Facebook posts, but you're only getting Zuckerberg richer. You're getting TikTok richer, China, which they're going to talk about handing it over to Ellison. So you're going to get Ellison even richer. You're going to get Elon, the richest man in the world. You're getting him richer by sharing X posts. Meanwhile, he's shoving this bullshit down our throat. This left, this pro-Israel narrative is just absolutely getting shoved down our throat. So please get on over there. You're going to love it because you're also going to see, all the different things that will, that we have. We've got President Trump's truth, Dan Scavino, his ex, their ex, my ex. You've got Window to the World, which are some of the top accounts I follow on X that you can just go through and you can follow a lot of that. And you'll see, some of the things that are happening. Just at a quick glance at the top of the news feed section, you have breaking: the Pentagon has directed and ordered the National Guard to establish nationwide quick reaction forces by January, designated to rapidly respond. I'm going to click on this and go to it. Allowing designed to rapidly respond to potential riots, civil disturbances, and other instances of domestic unrest across the United States. There you go. Boom. Here you go. And let me see. DOD should be Department of Defense, Department of War, I mean. And let's see if we can find this on Department of War. And I do not see it. Let me see. Let's see if it's on their website. News releases. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So this could be breaking because they got this news before it was posted online. But please keep an eye on that. This leads us back to quickly, swift, clean and swift, the riots, uprising, etc. And that's going to be, this is going along what Q has told us that the only way forward is military, and this plays right into that game plan, right into that what we've been told about that. Here we go. Clean and swift. But we can't do that with the current police and the current mayors and governors and judges and Soros-controlled, DAs and so forth, which is also going to be exposed through as they follow the money, which Q told us, follow the money, follow the money. So very interesting to see that. But that's the kind of thing where, you're here hanging out on Snedheads and you're connecting with friends, which, by the way, you do down here. Add friends. You click on and you see all the people that are on, and you go and you request friends. And then you see breaking, and then you're like, oh, and you just click on that, and it takes you right to that account, or you just read it as it goes along, right? I have here, Q, the plan to save the world. If you click on this right here, this will take you to the video I showed you last night. Also, I did a 15 minutes on how the Epstein story will play out. And then you have my X feed over here. You have the meme garden, which is awesome. David Pierce 2 days ago, Senor Jeffries on his jackass. Can I ask a stupid question better than anyone I know? Again, David Pierce. Thank you, David. Every once in a while you'll see a sponsored ad, Lightning Springs Ranch. That's where I get my beef. That's where a lot of the Sneds get their beef. It's a Utah ranch, family owned, amazing tasting beef. It's just incredible. And it's, you're not getting any mRNA. I've had the one of the owners on here talk about the ranch and how they do things, and I don't have you with me. I'm so sorry. There we go. This is what I wanted to show you. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Moonbeam. So this is Lightning Springs Ranch. So you can just click on this, but this helps support the platform as well. Saint Solutions over here. You can donate. Limbic Arc, transform your life with the power of frequency. I'm doing that now. Like, this is what keeps me going. And you don't have to have a device. You just do it on your computer. It's pretty amazing. Dave's Farmers Market. There's Jasper and me. And that'll take you to all these different things. But looking to do some more stuff, but you'll see it once in a while in between a post. Did someone say a storm is coming? Very nice. So good stuff, David. Thanks for putting those up there. Heather just shared 17 minutes ago. We just won the war on climate change hoax. Bill Gates has finally admitted that he was completely wrong on the issue. It took courage to do so, and for that, we are all grateful. I saw that earlier today. How about that? The climate change master, Bill Gates, now finally admits it's a hoax. Or I don't know exactly what he said about it. I'm going to see if I can find that for you. If you guys have that, please send it to me. There you have it. Things are happening, my friends. Like, we never thought, like, to reverse that, the climate change hoax. I mean, they got they got all these scientists on board. They've got all the universities. They've got they're calling climate change science, which is totally absurd. Just really unbelievable. Let's see. So let me take you here. And by the way, guys, if you want to support my work and get your name on the wheel for a free year membership to Snedheads, please do so. Your support is absolutely imperative. And those are the ways in which you can do it. The ones that have not censored me. In the Snedheads Donation Nation, that's where you can use your credit card. You can use whatever you want. You can use all different types of things, Cash App Pay and stuff like that. I think Apple Pay, things of that nature. So there you have it. Let me I got to pin this on Snedheads. The show, by the way, is on Snedheads. We're going to have a chat very soon so that you guys can be chatting on Snedheads if you want. And that's going to be very cool. And so please support my work if you're so inclined. The reason it's free is because many of you cannot afford to donate, and so I don't want you to feel like I want your money if you're really struggling. This is only for the people that have the means to do so, and I ask the people that have the means to do so. Yeah. Yeah, so keep an eye on Candace and the work that she's doing. And let me play this brief Anna Paulina Luna for you here from MJ Truth Ultra. Here we go.
In the state of Florida and then also Tampa Bay, one of the top issues, and I'm telling you guys this because I know there's a lot of parents that follow me, is child sexual assault material. So CSAM material through the roof. Actually, one of the most dangerous things that these agents are doing is serving the warrants on these people, because a lot of time when they find out that they've been busted for this, especially in the state of Florida, they know they're going to jail. But then also too, they made us aware of a group called 764, which is cautionary if you're going to Google it, but it is a exploitive group. I think that they're international terrorists running this, but they're specifically targeting young women that are vulnerable, using sex and exploitation, and then encouraging them for self-harm, mutilation, and suicide. So if you're a parent, watch out. That they're finding in the state of Florida and then also Tampa Bay. One of the
more work being done to stop child trafficking. Let me take you to Stop Anti-Semitism's post. Tucker Carlson will be the demise of the Republican Party. This man must be ostracized from public forums, insider circles, and every place in between. Otherwise, the GOP will morph into the radical abyss like the Democrats have after failing to rein in AOC, Tlaib, Omar, and, probably, what's her name? From Somalia. Ilhan Omar. But Brandon Tatum reposts this as 10,000%. So Brandon Tatum, who had Netanyahu on his show, and Netanyahu's not going on anybody's show that's not going to kiss his ass. And liberal hive mind says, what the fuck, Officer Tatum? Tucker Carlson should be ostracized from public forums. Who the fuck do you think you are? That's why I have said, if you follow Tatum, you need to know this. You need to know this stuff. And it's, it's disgusting that. And by the way, most of these people like Tatum have never been censored like I've been. So they don't understand how devastating it is to be censored by Tatum, okay? Or censored by big tech. This is from Divine Consciousness. We used to cover the Schumann resonance quite a bit. It's been going really wild lately. It appears old dense energies are being released. Anyone's ears ringing loudly lately. So we used to cover this. There've been some really interesting images on the Schumann resonance, and let's see if I have that up. And I do not see that. But there have been some very interesting images coming from the Schumann resonance. Let me, I'll see if I can find that a little bit. Here it is, right here. OG Anon, getting a poltergeist vibe on this one. Almost looks like people and like faces, right? Like kind of trippy. I'm going to repost that as well. This is a good take on what's happening in Jamaica. Check this out with the whole thing. Melissa, Hurricane Melissa, right? Here we go.
Okay, we need to talk about what's happening in Jamaica right now, because nobody is talking about the coincidence, the shocking coincidence that Jamaica signed on to do and now is experiencing this Category 5 hurricane that's wiped out the frickin' island. My thoughts and prayers go out to all those affected, and now let's get into it. So did you know that Jamaica signed on to something called Vision 2030, where they want to change a lot of how Jamaica was? And they have all these fancy buzzwords, but what it really is surveillance, smart grid, smart technology, smart city. Kind of like what happened in Hawaii. As you can see on the website, you see the Sustainable Development Goals. That's Agenda 21. Now, Agenda 21, as we know, is the shocking agenda to do a lot of things to all the countries in the world, which seem good on the surface. Equality, diversity, inclusion, when it really comes down to surveillance, control, and basically a prison without bars, controlled by AI. Jamaica has a comprehensive plan for smart city development, including a new city project. Well, how are you going to build a new city where there already is one? Oh, what happened to Maui? What happened to other places that had a smart city plan? What happened, the other thing I was thinking too is, what happened to the hurricane that blew into South Carolina, where they found a massive lithium deposit and then a hurricane wiped out the whole area and they're telling people they can't build there anymore? Vision 2030 Jamaica, absolutely shocking. The plan to test and implement smart technologies. Improve your quality of life. Yeah, talk to a robot every frickin' day. Real lifestyle quality there, dude. And then also, drive economic growth. Do you mean economic units, where they judge you based on carbon credits and there's no longer currency? Is this the whole plan? Let me know if you think this is just a shocking coincidence. But actually, I guess I didn't really say, how would a hurricane have anything to do with this plan? Unless, of course, you could do anything to modify the weather. But surely weather modification is totally fake and impossible, right? And it would never be used nefariously against innocent people. We'll talk more about that in the next one. Comment your thoughts below and follow for more.
Interesting, yeah. This agenda, remember the agenda 21 and the agenda 2030, that's UN. So it's not just the US. It's all over the world. So if they can make those kind of things happen in like Lahaina or Paradise, California, Pacific Palisades, California, if they can make those kind of things occur, what would keep them from doing it in other parts of the world that have even more corruption possibly than what we have, right? So definitely something to keep a lookout for in this whole world. Okay, and let me take you to Ted Cruz, my friends. This is very, very interesting what's going on right now. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
I am right now calling on the House of Representatives to impeach Judge Boasberg. Judge Boasberg put his robe down, stood up, and said, "Sign me up." Part of the partisan vendetta against 20% of the Republicans in the Senate.
Sorry, let me back that up just a bit. I hit the wrong button here. Here we go.
To be part of the partisan vendetta against 20% of the Republicans in the Senate. That is a dereliction of duty and a violation of the judicial oath. And I want to thank Chairman Grassley and Chairman Johnson for pursuing this tenaciously like a dog on a bone. We are going to get the answers of every person who signed off on this abuse of power, and mark my words, there will be accountability for these zealots who wanted to corrupt the Department of Justice and corrupt the judiciary in order to try to attack their enemies list. I am right now calling on the House of Representatives.
This is huge, okay? And I'm gonna take you to what this is all about. Let me take you to what Senator Grassley said just before him. Here we go.
I've recently been informed by Verizon that at least 11 members with Verizon accounts were affected. That includes a hard line for Senator Cruz's office and a staffer's cell phone for former Senator Loeffler. AT&T informed me they challenged the legal basis for Jack Smith's efforts, and Smith backed down. I've recently been informed by Verizon that at least...
So they went after the phone records of the Senate. This is Arctic Frost. This was the Biden administration. This is huge. Jack Smith, Boasberg, they're involved. Okay. That's why Cruz is calling for his immediate impeachment from the bench. I mean, this is huge stuff, my friends. And I did repost this. This is on my timeline. Since I have you here, let me take you to President Trump's post, or the White House's post. President Donald J. Trump is honored by South Korea with a gold crown and the Grand Order of Mugunghwa, the nation's highest civilian award, and the first time it has been given to an American president. Wow, look at that. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty badass. Right? And look at the crown. How about no kings now, folks? The left is they're gonna, like, you know, have an aneurysm over this one. And I posted this and I said the capitulation tour round 2 will be complete soon. Right? President Trump, and this is from Tartanium. President Trump posted on Truth Social, South Carolina DDDD, and then took it down. An Anon checked and said DDDD stands for, in Chinese, Dong De Do Dong, or casually, if you get it, you get it. Generally speaking, this refers to a meaning that is beyond words or for which there are no words, and it's something that only people who already understand it can understand. That's you and me. Okay? I said, in other words, if you know, you know. IYKYK. All right? This is a flat out, shout out to the Anons, my friends. That, along with the what President Trump is with the repost of the Q plus on his collar, folks. There's never been a spiritual street fighter whose artwork I use for the thumbnails. She's been reposted by President Trump 41 times. Okay. And folks, if you're not following, I know we got a lot of new folks, not new, old OG Sneds on YouTube. But if you're on X and you're not following at Spiritual Street Fighter, let me take you to that right here. Please give her a follow. She's a great Anon, but here's what she says. I'm a proud American, born and raised, woman for Trump. I believe in Q, the Great Awakening, and holding the line. Where we go one, we go all. Spiritual Street Fighter on Truth Social. So you can find her on Truth Social as well. And it says very similar content here. And President Trump is reposting her 41 times, and each one of her memes, almost every single one of them, points directly to Q. It has the frog, it has Q, it has where we go one, we go all, it has Q plus on his collar or right beside him, et cetera, et cetera. And so we've been getting so many confirmations from President Trump that the Q operation is real. It is happening. And I'm seeing it unfold. I mean, every single day, I see something new that confirms to me the Q operation. And that's why I wanted to share that video with you last night. Those, I think it was 4 videos actually, back to back by Joe M., which again, you can see on snedheads.com. It's on the upper right, or you'll just see the plan to save the world, and click on that and you can watch that. It's like 45 minutes. And it really, I think a lot of you made comments last night that you loved it, that you needed it right now, because this has been such a long and drawn out operation. Many of us are like, oh man, Terry, it's actually happening. Q was right. Thank you, Dave, for my awakening years ago. Old school OG Sned here. Awesome, Terry. Thank you for being here. Very cool. A log cabin in the woods and a couple of rifles is sounding like a pretty decent life these days, folks. That's why I'm away from the city. 11-3, 11-4. Yeah, and I think Charlie Kirk was the 11-3. And I think that's why I say, the Soros and the other two sides of the triangle, Soros and Rothschilds, because you can't go after Rothschilds without going after Israel. You can't go after Israel without going after Rothschilds. And look what he's doing with the banking. And he's going to take Powell out too. Right? Long and arduous is absolutely correct. So the Charlie Kirk, C is 3, K is 11, right? Think mirror, 11-3. Also, he had the 47, 47, 47 hats right beside him. And those are 3 11s. right? Yeah. How many OG Sneds are in the house? Raise your hand. Very cool. Thank you, Lisa. Very cool. Sergeant Petrie, thank you for reposting this. And folks, when you repost, do me a favor, tag Tucker, tag Candace, tag Ryan Matta, because they just need to learn about Q to understand, to see the big picture, without question. Michelle, I started watching Dave in 2018. Very cool. Actually, 2019, Michelle, would have been the first time. I think my birthday, 3/11. 11/3, right? 3/11. Maybe I'm the start. And that was in 2019, but it was early 2019. Rooster Mama in the house. Good to see you. Let's see. Rachel says, because Antifa is planning a huge takeover of Washington on the 5th. Yeah, they're definitely up to quite a bit, right? Awakened, yeah, I think he's going to have it wrapped up too. Here's the thing. Are we really going to be able to celebrate 250 years of this country with all of this still going on? You're going to have Antifa at our events trying to, spoil it for everybody, right? One, Nephthys, very cool. Let's see. I'm here at Lisa. Very cool. GQ. First Gator, OG, NS Land. Good to see you. Thank you. God bless you, David. God bless you all. Much love to you. Ian Carroll. Thank you, Terry. Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, you know me, guys. I've never gone after like big accounts to get them on the show to grow my channel. I've not done that. This is not an interview channel, an interview show. I'll have, people on from time to time, but it's not like trying to get their audience. This is something very different. This is more along the lines of those people are going to be on the out when the Q operation takes control. They're all going to be made to look like fools because they were so anti-Trump because of his, quote, love for Israel, which doesn't make any sense because he took out the fake news media, which is their number one asset, and he's taken out the central banks, which is their number two asset. Health RM, awesome. Pamela Goldstein, me, awesome. Joe Blanchard, awesome. Hi, G, Lisa. January of 2018 for me, Dave, you're instrumental in my awakening. Thank you. Again, I think 2019, unless you were following me on Facebook, because oh my gosh, was it 12 years? I was constantly on Facebook, constantly dropping stuff about the Clintons, about Obama and things like that. Mary, since 2020, awesome. Siggy, 2019, very cool. Let's see, Terry, me in 2019 during the BLM debacle. Yeah, that was crazy. That was, I think, 2020 was the summer. The fireplace, Mach 1 babe. You can also do it from that. Dave is a marker here. Yeah, GQ 2019. Heath RM, November 2019. Tennessee Gal 2020. Let's see, Deb B. Let's see. Yeah, and I do believe the military will absolutely be activated before that happens. I know I've been with you beginning when you used to sit in front of your fireplace. Very cool. Yeah, that was 2019. Yeah, absolutely. March 2020, Yellow Risa, Diemra, Fire Pit and Beach Walks. Very cool, Pamela. Yeah, you've been checking your coat since 2020, Gypsy. Very cool. Yeah, I think the Insurrection Act has to happen. I think it has to happen. I've had my coat checked for forever. City Solution, what's this channel all about? That's a great question. Trump Q, the military operation that is saving the world, primarily, is what this channel is all about. We bring receipts. We do dives into Q. I have been at this for 7 years. I've been awake 19 years. Done a lot of shows, over 1,400 shows, all free. Only donation based and a few opportunities. December 2019, Lloyd, I have learned so much. You have always been a straight shooter with a heart to wake everyone. I highly respect you. Thank you very much. We know you, Dave. No need to explain. Thank you, GQ. I was just explaining that for the newbie. Drop 13 hit multiple times in the last week. Let's go there. 13. I'm trying to think if I've been to 13. Definitely. Let's see. Here we go. Now think about, yeah, absolutely. Now think about the timing of POTUS traveling to China, South Korea. I've said too much. God bless patriots. Yes, very interesting timing with the government shutdown, with the tariffs, happening everywhere. There we go. With all these countries, with the capitulation continuing here. Very cool. I'm a latecomer. I can't remember when I found you who brought me along, but glad they did. Thank you very much. October 2019, beach and fireplace. Very cool. Let's see. OG 2018 on Facebook, American Patriot. Yeah, that's how I got started, is Facebook Live. Donnig 2019, Barbara since 2020, and a huge part of our growth as the producer. Thank you, Barbara, for your love and devotion. Let's see. OG here, you might remember me as Vincent Vendetta. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. How you doing, man? Yeah, 33rd Invasion, Dark Horse Studios. Little different vibe. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Let's see. I think you will first declare a national emergency, will lead to activation of the Insurrection Act as soon as he gets back from Asia. Well, think about this. If these SNAP benefits don't go into effect, here's the thing. Moonbeam dropped something with us last night, which was only 18% of those benefits go to American citizens. And as I've told you before, it doesn't make sense that the Democrats don't vote for a continuing resolution, because these are their voters, the non-citizens. But think about when these people don't get money, what they're going to do, especially if Soros is still paying them to do the things, right? I love the long shows, fell asleep with you many times, been called crazy so many times. Yeah, join the club. Ravens Wings, I'm ready for the credits to roll. I had to tell the dark ones to back off today. I was definitely being tested today. I tell you, that's a great point. How much we're being tested and how we've been tested through all of this. Smokey Eye 2018, Serum, 2019. Cobco started watching you in my car 2020. A few months ago, LOL, thanks to my good friend, Sir Oliver. That's right. That's right. You came in through Sir Oliver. And by the way, I just thought about him today. I want to have him back on. I might even check in with him to see if he's available tomorrow night. We go long. We go long, don't we? MSM will go down with Israel. No question. Lynn Martin, 2019, right after the election was stolen. Would that have been 2020 then? Yeah, 2020. I still have the shirt you're wearing. I found you on Facebook 2019. Thanks for waking me. I sent you pictures of your dad when he passed. Yes, Heath, absolutely. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, the pictures of him on my show. Yeah, amazing. Thank you again for that. That was really special. I still have that, obviously. Roy Diamond, 2018. Awesome. Terry, Zeitgeist. I showed that, I believe. Yeah. During lockdown, when I was trying to find out what was going on for real, a lot of people found me in March of 2020 during the lockdown. Or before and then the EBS system activated. Exactly. Lucci, 2021. Very cool. Moonbeam jumped on the Snedeker wagon in 2021 after Nino first had him on his show explaining Q. Yep. Very cool. Jan, March 2020. Found you, Dave, on Facebook. Lisa, I would have lost my independence during the scandemic had I not found your channel. Locked down hard in Michigan and fought the lib-vaxxers everywhere. I would have lost my mind without this group. God bless you, Lisa. Yeah. And now, as you know, that's been my mission, right? I went through the awakening. It was brutal. I was living in California. I was waking up to one lie after another that I had been told. It was depressing. I was struggling financially. And I had a family, and I was going through a new baby coming. And man, now we're looking at colleges, and man, that was rough. Rooster Mama, you've helped my family so much. We prepped for 6 to 8 weeks now, using the food and supply prep due to my family not getting paid right now. Good call. Dave, you've helped us so much. Thank you. Kathy Reeves, started watching in 2020. You kept me from getting jabbed. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm so glad. Girls Got Rhythm, newbie to channel, just stumbled upon. Welcome. Everyone, welcome Girls Got Rhythm. December 2020, Cocktail Slipper. Beth, was 2019 when I found you, Todd, and Cindy. Awesome. Those were some great shows. Let's see. Mach 1 Babe, this channel is all about the comms that no one else understands, why everyone else thinks DJT misspells and writes awkwardly. Dave explains what it all means, so it all makes sense. That's a great way to describe this, I think. Cynthia, been a SNED since July 2019. Amazing. Yeah, don't forget Mr. T is 100% insulated. Let's see. I found you on Facebook when you were with Cindy and Todd, Sean Marie, Terry, Todd, and Cindy. Love to them. Yep. I remember the beach and fireplace. Let's see. 11:29 the day as well. I don't know what that means. I am only saying now because of Dave. Awesome. I'm actually forget how I found you, but I'm glad I did. Danny Q, followed since a Standard Hotel helicopter crash. Awesome. Yeah, we covered that when Q brought that up. Maggie, since 2019. Awesome. Purple Passions from the beginning. GQ, my experience on Jan 6 went through your lens, Dave. Thanks for the memories. You're very welcome. November 1st will be pivotal in the military taking over. As we wait for drop 1, October 30th, Hillary's arrest tomorrow. I hope. And you know what else is happening tomorrow? Don't forget, folks. Now, for what it's worth, again, these are actually things that are happening. It depends on, excuse me. Hey, cheers to you all. And by the way, my beautiful mug that, here we go. And that's from Holly Marsh right there. Okay. She signed it, made that by her own hands. Cheers to you all you OG Sneds and Snedheads, and welcome and thank you. Get on up, please get on over to Snedheads. We need you over there. It's going to be amazing. We already have 655 people, and it is awesome. And by the way, no promises here, but Q has said that when we see Obama's picture in Muslim garb, holding an AK-47, supposedly murdering a U.S. serviceman member, that they're going to claim it's fake or it's AI, but Q's got the video to back it up. But they have to shut down the net to keep that from spreading. The rogue elements and all the big tech. But he's talked about Google kill, Facebook kill, Twitter kill, TikTok kill. He's talked about the Q has talked about that. I say he because I think most of them are men. I think all of them are men. Certainly the 9, 3 civilian, 6 military, but they don't talk about like smaller accounts killing. They're not talking about these like Snedheads. I don't think is going to be killed. Why? Because we're flying under the radar. And if they kill the entire net, some people use the internet for their job, for their medicine. They get their pharmaceuticals and things like that. So I don't think they're going to shut down the entire web. I do think they're going to shut down the major forms of communication for you and I to spread this word about Obama. Right. So Snedheads could be a safe haven. Right. Raven's Wings, found Q, then Hawk brought me to you, Dave. Much love and respect. Thank you. And much love and respect to Hawk as well. The 7-hour convo guy. Exactly. Love you too, man. So yeah, so very cool, folks. Thanks for sharing that. Let's see. Lisa Liberty since Todd and Cindy days. Yeah, stock up and keep your doors locked. Rosanna Lenz 2019. Beautiful to see you. Let's see. Very cool. Very cool. I will never forget when you had hiccups. That was funny. The hiccup show. Damn. Oh, cool. Yes. Please DM me. Heard you on Nino, Nevada Rob. Very cool. Very good. Not long after Trump became president, Todd and Cindy were your new partners after a woman that was saying lies about you. Oh, yeah. I remember her. Yeah. How about we have a little fun? What did we think of you the first time we listened? Oh, okay. That's good, Barbara. Holy cow. Yeah. What did you think of me the first time you listened to me? What did you think, Barbara? Why don't you start us off? Girls Get Rhythm started waking after 2020 Facebook censorship, always looking for Q info, EBS, and reset info. Very cool. Let's see. Let's see. Dave, do you think Fauci will be prosecuted? Yes, I do. And by the way, this was all a part of it. We covered this last night that the auto pen, they're going to void all those pardons. And by the way, what did he exactly pardon Fauci for? Fauci was never charged with a crime, so why would he be pardoning Fauci without any crime? So that just shows you how illegitimate these things are, right? Randall, a year or more, found you, Dave, through Script Keeper. Very cool. Very cool. Script and I have been talking about doing another show as well. Let's see. Yeah, the Democrats are talking about surrounding the White House, Supreme Court, and Capitol on 11/5. I did see that. Thank you, Ultra Extreme MAGA. Thank you for that. Tanya Joe was blown away the first time you heard. Very cool. You know anything about Trump building an arch in DC? Yeah, I think it's going to have to, it's going to be part of a, Jennifer, good to see you. It's going to be part of the ballroom. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. I told both my son and daughter to get what they need by Friday. They are listening. Yeah. Listen to your mom. Okay. Listen to your mom. Good to, hey, listen, The stuff I have is good for 25 years. I've had it for probably 10. Okay. Well, some of it probably longer, definitely longer. But listen to your mom. Get everything you need. All right. I do not know. I've not been in touch with Todd and Cindy for a long time. We haven't done a show together in ages. I saw it on Dave Pounder podcast. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Let me just find. Let's see. Barbara, let's see. Lovely. Yeah, isn't that a beautiful mug? What a ride. Whip and spur. I fully woke up when the election was stolen. Somehow I found my way to Rumble, not sure how, but went through many so-called truthers, landed here prepared to engage on a higher level. Very cool. And you absolutely do engage on a higher level. Very cool. Let's see. Who was pretending to be RFK Jr. or JFK Jr. you're talking about? That was Wano Blabin, 107. Yeah. Yeah. And please join us on Snedheads, folks. Thank you, Moonbeam, for dropping that. Toronto wins 6-1, 1 win away from winning the World Series. Very cool. Let's see. There you go. Yes. And if you have any trouble with Snedheads, please, you can pay with Zelle or email me and let me know what problems you're having. Okay. Jennifer, first time in Las Vegas, seeing you report incident. Oh, yeah. I was talking about the shooting, but also talking about what do you call it? What's his name? Alec Baldwin, that shooting of the Rust thing. And by the way, I want to say, I think it's this channel. Is it this channel or is it the other one that has that at the top? If you go to my channel, by the way, let me share this with you. If you go to my channel on YouTube, let me take you there. There's Dave Snedeker. It's got almost 11,000 subscribers. So please subscribe over there, but go to live and you'll see the live shows, right? Going way back, right? So that's Dave Snedeker. Okay. Now, if you go to David Snedeker, which is another account that I just got back, that's not me, by the way, right there. These are all me. But why is David Snedeker not showing up? That's very odd, because that should show up as well. Huh. These are all Dave Snedeker. But anyway, what I was going to say is that Vegas under David Snedeker, the Vegas one is right up at the top. So that's one of the ones you saw. Let's see. Seeing you attacked in Santa Monica. Yeah, that was brutal. I'm missing John B. Wells, but I'm not leaving. What happened with John B. Wells? Let's see. Yeah, everything at the shop runs on the internet. So, I think the internet's going to be very big. It's a coffin, Bart. It's a coffin. Fantastic. The Jasper Toot, that was funny. Hiccups, that was funny. Loved the Hiccup show. Yeah, that was good stuff. Love the old warm-up song instrumental. By the way, I played that tonight. I thought you guys would dig that. Yeah. Let's see. Pamela Anderson, Newcastle, California, December 2019, Love and Light. Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's see. I was hooked from the get and started doing my research. Awesome. Mach 1 babe. We were still here, so we fell in love after the first listen. Very cool. You are the best as far as decodes, Dave. You explain things very well. Thank you, Rachel. I take that very, I'm honored. Let's see. Dave, have you noticed concrete posts outside of Walmart's, Costco's, banks, and gas stations? They showed up all of a sudden. I haven't noticed that they showed up all of a sudden, but I have noticed that they have blocked a lot of the doors. William says, gee, I always thought you were a little out there until I started to understand. Very cool. Very cool. Barbara, I thought you were a wackadoodle, but I have loved you since about 3 weeks after that. Very cool. Thank you. Very cool. Let's see. Wasn't sure what he was all about, but he was calming. Very cool. Listening since 2019, and you never bring up falling asleep on us one night. Yeah, I did do that. Maybe more than one night, but I can't remember exactly the show, but I definitely fell asleep. Guys, I used to do freaking 6, 7, 8 hour shows. I mean, yeah. Moonbeam, when I first heard Dave, I knew his QD codes were exactly what I was looking for. Brilliant. Thank you, Moonbeam. Very cool. I learned real quick, Gypsy, to do research. You were too passionate to be lying down the rabbit hole I went. Thank you for that. That's very cool. Let's see. The funniest event was when you danced auditioning for Tubin's job at CNN. I don't even remember that. Oh my gosh. Yellow Risa, I thought, oh, this is about that crazy Q stuff I heard about. I'll stick around for a bit and see what it's about. Glad I did. Me too. Thank you. My husband said, who's this Dave guy? Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. Kirsten W. show. I did a couple shows with her back in the day. T. Otis. Very cool. God bless her and God rest her soul. I thought nothing. I checked my coat and listened. Very cool. Very cool. Same here, Whip. Very cool. Let's see. We were well prepared. At least my husband is awake enough to take me seriously about certain things. That's very good. First time I saw you was on Facebook. Jingle, first time I saw you, I said he's going places. Honest, no crap. Thank you, Jingle. That's very cool. First time 2020, right after the election, that you had issues with technology. LOL. It was one of those shows, but I was intrigued and became hooked. I don't have problems anymore, do I? Yeah, right. L. Wade, when I first listened, I thought you'd lost it for real and maybe had me, but then you pulled out the receipts and I said, well, damn, okay, you've got my full attention now. Been loyal ever since. Thank you very much. Very, very cool. Only kids think I'm still crazy. Yeah, it's a coffin. That was funny. Very cool. Very cool. Good stuff, folks. Yeah, that's why, I know that's why I haven't been on Nino's show in a long time. It's just they're two peas in a pod. Yeah, Alec Baldwin. That was the Vegas show, and you and I and Christy put that together, Barbara. That was amazing. In a parking lot, by the way. I'm in the parking lot, and you guys we put that together. That was awesome. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up your post. Let's see. Okay. Love that Trump appears to be destroying the pentagram of DC with new construction. I think that's a part of it. I do think that's a part of it. I think I am the eldest of the OGs. Not sure though. How old would that be? I thought you were over the top at first, yet I was totally fascinated because I knew things were very, very wrong in this world. Yeah. Eclectic Dawn, late 2019. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know I am. Thank you for all your amazing comments here. Eclectic Dawn, late 2019, a Facebook Live with Dave came across my feed. It was like a Neo in the Matrix moment. All those long decode shows literally saved me. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's see. Check my coat and listen, Cynthia. That's the way to go, right? VA Patriot, since the beginning, confirmed many suspicions and brought insight to so much more. It was good to feel I wasn't crazy alone. VA Patriot, thank you. And thank you for your service. So you have yourself mirrored. So you have mirrored yourself. I think so. Oh, the 11.3, is that what you're talking about? Let's see. Yeah, we covered that, by the way. That was a hit. That was a hit without question. Yeah, Vegas, Petty, and Baldwin. Steve S. Dave, you helped me wake me up in 2020. I knew there were a lot of problems in this world, and you helped wake me up. Hope you and Todd and Cindy can start a reunion tour. Love you. Thank you. Let me see. Keep not gonna. Let's see. Farhad, good to see you, brother. Yeah, there's a lot happening, no question. Yeah, and I'm back on the original channel, not the original. I don't know what the original was. I think the original might have been the Indoctrination, but these shows on David Snedeker only go back 4 years, and the other one I got back goes back 3 years. So I got to find all those shows that were before that. Most of them, a lot of them were in Facebook, but some on YouTube. Drive-in theater theme, very cool. Yep. The hiccup shows. Okay, John B. Wells is still on. Good. Okay. Ren, I was there for the 8-hour show 2020. Very cool. Rachel Boone, I expect many will be asking and looking for guidance within the next few weeks or months. I'll be directing all mine here. Thank you. Very cool. I have loved you from the start. Maybe we all napped together. Yeah. Yeah. Pamela, I stayed up for that 8-hour show. That was unbelievable. Teresa, good to see you. I was scrolling on or around my birthday, and you were strolling on the beach on your birthday. Been following ever since. Twin birthdays, 3/11. Very cool. Yes. Missed you, Dave. Thank you. Appreciate that. Remember the 8-hour marathon. By the way, have I gone over? Did I go over 8 hours with Oliver one night? Yep, it's a calm demeanor. Very cool. I really want another show on the golden cube thing. I'm so amazed by that. Oh, that's the yellow cube. Yeah. Been with Q since 2017. Dave 2019. Very cool. Very cool. I remember it's a coffin. Been with you since 2020. Have yet to join Sneds, but I'm going to, Dave. Awesome. Yes, guys, please join. And by the way, too, again, folks, I wouldn't be here without you. I haven't gotten rich off this movement. I've never charged for it. I've never put you behind a paywall. All the content is free, and so I ask for your support to keep this going and get me over the hump over the next 2 to 3 days as the beginning of the month approaches. I've got a long way to go and a short while to get there. So please, if you have the means, please share the wealth, tip your waiter. Remember, my tips are tax-free thanks to President Trump. It's been so long I can't remember. Ren, the most brilliant I've come across. Thank you for that. The coffin was hilarious. Yeah. The gifts of God are without repentance. He has given us your voice to hear the truth. Thank you, Gusto. You didn't know the camera was on. You were stretching. I've done that before, right? And yet here we still are here. Q has been right, and Dave has helped us understand. Dave, you always used to end your shows with a prayer. I believe many of those prayers were answered. Might you sometime get back to that? I have from time to time, Jeff. I definitely have from time to time. I just went through that period, losing my, my friend, my father, my brother, my other friend, my relationship, my home. And it was, I guess I haven't really been doing it consistently since that time I was away. Yeah. How has the show been back on? So just so you know, I never left. YouTube kicked me off, but I've been broadcasting to Rumble and to X for quite some time. And if you look at my my content on Rumble, which you can find me there, especially if YouTube just censored my show from yesterday, not censored it, but gave me a copyright strike yesterday for playing that Middle Eastern music over the Dearborn, Michigan crowd. But if you look at my stuff on Rumble, folks, I've been going since 4 years, 3 years on Rumble. I've got 10 pages on Rumble, and each page 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. But I think I have over 400 shows on Rumble right now. And this goes back 11/6/24. Yeah, I've been at it. So I haven't gone anywhere. I went away for a little bit during the time when I was trying to save the life of my father and trying to save the life of my brother, and then their deaths, and then my breakup. So I was away for a little bit. Dave showed up on my Facebook feed at the start of COVID, Linda. Very cool. Awesome. Let's see. I couldn't anything on Dave for a year. Gave about a year ago. He was just gone. Couldn't find anything on Dave for a year. Gave about a year ago, and he was just gone. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think something's going on under the East Wing, my friends. Because why else would he have the military involved? Right? Doesn't make any sense. Right? Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Dave, Mike King. Yeah, I was thinking about Mike King the other day. I'm gonna have to have him on. Yes, the IndoctriNATION was that the YouTube channel, the IndoctriNATION. Sue, good to see you. You kept me calm. If I didn't find you, I would have had a nervous breakdown. Well, thank you. Very cool. Finally got to join site. Been dealing with my dad passing. I'm sorry to hear that, Donig. That's Don LG, I think. Yeah, my guests have also fallen asleep during the show. Oliver has fallen asleep. Very cool. Jan, you helped me, Dave, get through all the crap with the jab in the last 4 years. Awesome. Annette Fleming, been with you since July 10, 2020. I'm so glad you're back in one place. Love you, Dave. Thank you. And that's the other thing, by the way, folks, with the Sned heads, I control that. So I ain't going anywhere. So that's why I want you over there joining me. Dorothy found me, Paul Michaels, on Facebook, which was, I don't know, my 5th account or 6th account on Facebook. Yeah. Mark, so where you been? I have no trust in you for being gone. I've been on Rumble and I've been on X for like I said, I just I've got over 400 videos on Rumble just in the past 3 years. Yeah. Let's see. Dave, remember the first time you come out with your gear and we took pictures and sent it to you and put us on the opening segment? Yeah. And by the way, we're doing that again, folks. So please check out the Sned shop and get another comfy shirt and send me pictures of your gear. Gus Gustafson. And here's the other thing. You can even just post them on Snedheads. Gus just posted one earlier today, or was that yesterday? I'm getting my days mixed up. Yeah, so I want to see you guys in your Sned gear, your Snedheads gear, or your Indoctrination gear. And here it is. Here's Gus right here. Right there with the Indoctrination David Snedeker mug and the Indoctrination David Snedeker hat. So yeah, thank you, my friends, for that and for your support there. And I've got something I got to share with you here in a little bit. So you've got that, and then let me get back to the comments briefly, and then we'll move on. Let's see. Michelle, good to see you. My daughter is 16. At the time she was 10, she would walk down the hallway and say, "Oh, Mom, is Dave on?" That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. POTUS came out to shake hands with Xi at 10:07 p.m. Eastern today, in case you missed it. Boom. Great catch. Great catch. The old show on the yellow cube, I'm not sure, but my goal, my friends, is to get all of the shows, which are, again, over 1,400, which is over 6,000 plus hours, all into AI, and that can pull out via content, different clips. And so I'm working on that. Amy, Dave, I found you March 2020. Never missed a show for the first couple years. Mind blown. I can't imagine being asleep. Thank you for all the good times and great information. Thank you, Amy. I love that. Thank you. Love you. Love you all. I was off the air for, I did a few different, walk and talks, but probably for that year that my father and my brother were sick. A little, I think maybe a year. Yeah. Polar Bear Paws, good to see you. Quilting with Jody and the DaveSned is another YouTube channel you were booted from. Thank you. Yeah, I got to make a note of that. Quilting with Jody. That's helpful. I got to find out what, also I got to find out what do you call it? Email I used to get those accounts. And then the DaveSned. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Good stuff. Let's see. There's a donation page that Moonbeam dropped. You can click on that and go directly to Stripe. Mark, dude, are you like fucking obtuse or what? I've been gone a long time now. I just explained, maybe you missed this, but I just showed you fucking 400 fucking shows that I've been doing over the past 3 years. What, are you out of your fucking mind? Now I want money? Go fuck yourself. Remember me talking to assholes like that too? like that come on and say stupid shit, like they know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. Yep. You all I'm still on that computer that you guys bought me, by the way. I'm still using that computer. So thank you. Yeah, this is awesome. Awesome. Let's see. Magic Swirl, I've been trying to find you on Rumble and unfollowed your channel and had some other fools on there instead of you. Yeah, sorry. Dearborn is in serious trouble. The mayor is telling Americans to get out of his city. That's interesting. I have not heard that, Rachel. Yeah, they blast the call. I showed that video last night of Dearborn. It was pretty scary. Let's see. Yeah, crap. I never got anything else. So glad listening again. God bless. Well, that's the thing, guys. We go with, our, what do you call it? Habits. They know we have habits. They know we go to YouTube for information. So if they take me off YouTube, they know they're going to separate us. I mean, I was separated by 11,000 on this channel on YouTube. I was separated by another, I think 8,000 on the other channel. So yeah, other places are headed the way of Dearborn. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still using the Healy. I'm still using Saint Solutions. Every day I rinse it in my mouth. I put it on cuts and scrapes. I'm doing what do you call it? Clean and jerks now, and so it scrapes my shins, and so I got to put it on that. Yeah. So let's see. When I am not signed into Rumble, you never show up on the live list. Wonder why. Have you made them that mad? Here's the thing. I haven't fully trusted Rumble. Peter Thiel owns PayPal. They still haven't given me my PayPal account back or my ex's. Right. Yeah. Was one of the names of the show knitting with it might have been, did I change it to knitting with the head sned, but it was, no, quilting. It was quilting with the head sned, but did I change it? Because it was quilting with Jody, because somebody gave me their channel. Yeah. Mark, I've looked for you years too, never found you, gave up on you, don't believe in you, got to prove yourself. Don't believe you got to prove yourself. Yeah, I don't. I've been here. I've been here through the whole fucking thing. The only time I took time off was with some severe family issues. I fell asleep one time and thought you were in my dream until I wake up and you're still on. Yeah, some of you only do YouTube, and they've separated a lot of us, right? Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it. I still have my t-shirt. Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. So, Kelly, I was also on the first Zoom show. It was my mom's birthday and we were both able to talk with you. So funny. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I'd eat my dinner with you because I worked so hard getting you information. Remember my daughter used to bring me dinner out to the studio. You kept us focused not to give up. Yeah. And yeah, I think it was quilting with Jody. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Trillium. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, when you were gone for a while, I was afraid you were in jail from J6. I can't believe that I was never approached. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Summers 2020, it came across my Facebook feed. I had been researching for months. I always remember the 8-hour show because I listened almost the whole way from Colorado to Dallas. Very cool. Derek Martin in the house. Thanks for reposting. And folks, if you would tag people when you repost, please. That really, especially some of the bigger accounts, it would be great. Thank you. Thank you, Shauna. I love you too. And I caught a couple of your shows too back in the day, Shauna. Let's see. Barbara, was that your channel? Wait a minute. The Quilting with Jody, wasn't that somebody else? Give up your Rumble channel if you're not a fraud. I just took you to it. You are truly some kind of a dumbass. Right here. The home, here's my channel, here's my content. David Snedeker at the Indoctrination. There you go. And there's all my videos right here that aren't live. Okay, there's about 3 pages, or how many pages of that aren't live. And then here's all the live videos right there, which is all my live videos. Look at it, 21 pages right there. Okay, at least 21 pages. Each one of these, probably 3 to 4 hours long. Hold on, I got to take you there. There you go. The Indoctrination, that's what it looks like. The Indoctrination, no space. The Indoctrination live. Look at all these. But, I'm not a fraud. I'm not a fraud. 21 pages. Are there more? Maybe. That's on Rumble, dude. Rumble.com user, the Indoctrination. Okay. So there you go. Let's see. Oh no, I know that was about that guy. Let's see. Yep, you started watching with Cindy and husband, then you were off until it came on Hawk's show. I enjoyed you and Hawk were on. You and Hawk were the only ones I watched. Very cool, KKY. I always found you no matter where you went. Very cool. Dude, I get excited when you answer me. Very cool. Raven's Wings, I only come to Rumble for your show. Thank you. Maggie, yeah, I remember meeting you in Buda, Texas. I love that they still have the old shows, right? Like I love that they still have them. Very cool. Yeah, good night. God bless. I haven't gotten to your post yet. Oh, okay. It's yours. Okay. Can we get that back, Barbara? I'm sorry. I didn't remember that. So very cool stuff. Very cool. Reminiscing. Very cool. I used to listen to you every night, enjoy the show. I just want to believe in you. Well, get your head out of your ass and find me and know that I've been doing this for fucking years and don't make stupid ass comments. Let's see. And by the way, this is part of why you guys like me, because I call out, people that say stupid shit, because I spend too much time researching and making sure that the stuff I'm bringing to you is legit. Right? Let's see. Thank you. LA, I appreciate that. Yep. Let's see. Shauna, so happy to see you with your own Sned shed and how far you, the Sneds and the info has come. Great memories, and our children have grown by half a decade in an untouchable time of strength and unity. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you for that. Very cool. I don't know who that is. And by the way, I don't watch much on YouTube because they don't even let me have an account. Up until I got this channel back, they wouldn't even let me have an account on YouTube. Like I couldn't do YouTube, at all, and save or, subscribe or anything. So yeah, so good. Dave, there's going to be a lot of trolls in these channels now. You're awakening too many. They don't like it. And not a troll. The guy listened to me. He's got his head up his ass. So that's fine. Just don't spout off when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's why. Okay. So, thank you guys. I appreciate this. This was awesome. Rumble has 560 videos for the indoctrination. Gusto. I was way off. Because when I said that, I actually thought 400 over 3 years. That doesn't seem like a lot. So thank you. Yeah, very cool. All right, my friends. Every time you said "bear with me" was a shot. Well, get liquored up with Dave. That was awesome. Yeah, the medical censorship was big. Yeah, unbelievable. So, guys, yeah, please join us over on Snedheads. You're going to love it. People are putting their real name in, their real picture of their real face. Accountability is going to be the new thing to do on the internet, because people are just, can be real dicks if there's no accountability. Yeah. Why do you think they gave you your channel back? That's a great question, Terry. I think it wasn't just me. I know that they're doing, they're giving other people the channels back, and I think it's the white hats kind of getting back in control of things. All right. Listen, before we wrap this up, I know I got off topic, and I'm gonna cover some more things tomorrow night, but we covered a lot tonight. The really important stuff, I feel we covered, and I'm gonna have some information tomorrow on what happens with Xi Jinping and President Trump. I will watch all of that for you and bring you kind of the highlights of that. Now, I want to share the following with you. First of all, I have never done crypto on this show. As you know, I've never recommended anything crypto wise. But what I have done is I've had Rob Cunningham on a couple times. I've also had Sir Oliver on. They are very versed in crypto. Another friend, Green Knuckles, is very versed in crypto. Now, Rob and Sir Oliver, they're mainly XRP people. Green Knuckles is primarily one which is called Stronghold. Okay, now what I'm going to share with you here is this Kraken. Now, Coinbase is something I used to use for crypto. I don't have a lot of crypto, but some people have given me some crypto, and I have put aside just a little bit. But I'm not one of these crypto guys that talks about it hardly at all. But what I want to share with you is Coinbase got hacked, and I got my stuff out of Coinbase before it got hacked. And I actually got a scam call about Coinbase. And then once they found out I had like 83 cents in, they hung up the phone. But Kraken is an online account that you can click the link that Moonbeam's going to be dropping to you. If you click this link and go in through this, they're saying they're going to give you $70. They're going to add $75 to your Kraken account. Now, Kraken is like Coinbase, but I believe it's much, much more secure. And Kraken is the one that has the first one to offer what's known as Stronghold. Now, Stronghold, I'm not going to tell you much about it, but I ask you to check out Stronghold SHX and use AI, use whatever it is you want. But when you do that, ask about Stronghold, talk about, this is going to be connected to the ACH payments between banks. It's a very strong company, and it just went on the exchange on last Friday. The reason I mention this is because I think this is going to be a very, and Green Knuckles thinks as well, I think this is going to be a very strong crypto, and you can still get it for a penny. Okay. So even if the only thing you do is, go and sign up for a Kraken account, they're going to give you $75. Take that and put it into whatever crypto you think is a good one. I recommend this one. It's actually down. It got as high as 3 cents, but now it's back down to 1.2 cents. But I think it's going to be very, very strong. But do your research. Don't take my investment advice, but at least grab $75 for yourself. Okay. And I think it gives me $75 as well, which is, they figure if you're going to go on and do crypto that you're going to, you might add to it and so forth, but I don't believe you have to. So please check that out. Moonbeam's dropping that in the comments so that you can just click to it, right? And so I highly recommend at least get $75. That's it. Like, I wouldn't be sharing this if they didn't say, hey, if you share this, your people will get $75. I wouldn't be doing that unless they're doing this. But it's a strong, secure online account, Kraken, Kraken, and it's the only one that has stronghold SHX. So do yourselves a favor. If you're not into crypto, it's real simple. Just click the link and go to it, and you'll be you'll love it. He'll love it. Let's see. So Moonbeam has dropped this in the chat, so you can click right to it if you have the chat. If somebody can grab that and put it on YouTube, that would be helpful. I don't know if I can or not. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if I can do that. So, here it is. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. But even if you just get to $75, folks, and you put it in, and that penny goes to, whatever, 100, 30, it's $10, whatever. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat. There you go. I put it in the chat on YouTube, and I'm going to put it in the chat on X as well. So please go do yourselves a favor, at least get a free $75, and that 75, if you put it into something like that, could turn into a lot more. And so it's like they say it's already added, but you have to unlock it just by joining. And if this wasn't a solid company, I vet everything that I share with you. If this wasn't a solid company, both the Stronghold and the Kraken, I wouldn't bring it to you. I've only brought you a handful of stuff on this channel. You know that. I don't do a bunch of commercials. I don't do a bunch of stuff. I take donations. Donations are 95% of the support I get. I get a little bit from Saint Solutions. I get a little bit from 7K. I get this gold and silver. I get a little bit from I get meat from the farm once in a while. I haven't gotten meat in a long time, and that's all about just going to Lightning Springs Ranch and checking that out. And Moonbeam drops those as well. And that's great meat, folks. And then, of course, some of you just send me stuff via my P.O. box here now in Dripping Springs, Texas, which is a lovely, lovely place to be. And by the way, when you do donate, you will get your name on the wheel, and I'm hoping to do a wheel spin tomorrow night. I normally wait until we get about 25, 26, people, 30 people donating before I spin that wheel, because I give away a free year of Sned heads, and I also give away a free T-shirt, both which cost me money. So, at any rate, so my friends, somebody just signed up on Kraken. Thank you very much. Very cool. And I'm telling you, folks, just go get the $75. I don't care what you do with it. I think you might have to trade it like on Kraken. So buy some crypto, but it's free $75. And just make sure you complete all the steps. And then that gets me the reward too. So I think it's 150 total. I think you get 75. I think I get 75. I'll let you know tomorrow when I see the results to confirm. But I think that's what's going on here. So that's why I wanted to show it to you. You can catch up with Sneds on Sned Heads after the show. And everyone's a friend there, folks. You're gonna love it. I mean, the only censorship is you can't be an asshole. You got to be civil. It's like I'm throwing a party, snedheads.com. You're all invited. Show up, be kind, open your mind, check your coat, and don't be an asshole. That's the only censorship I'll have, right? So so I'm getting some notifications that you guys are signing up. So thank you for that. Thank you for clicking on that link. Just complete all those steps. Just know that Kraken is like top level security. Like all the Bitcoins on there, all the XRPs on there, all the big ones are on there. And one of the reasons I wanted to share this with you is because even if this just gets your foot in the door with crypto, I think it's going to be a big deal. And that's why I recommend getting Stronghold. Even if you get $75 worth of Stronghold, you'll thank me. I'm almost certain you'll thank me for that recommendation in this link. So please take advantage of that. Again, I've never done this. I've never done like crypto links and things like that. But I've had some really brilliant people on here talking about crypto and explaining it to me and explaining why this one's good, why this one's good, why this one's good. But please do your own research before you put any of your own money in anything. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Understand this is part of what I believe to be the takedown of the central banks. Is going to be in the form of crypto. I've also been a proponent of gold and silver because that's God's money. And look what's happened to gold and silver. It's doing amazingly well. And I don't even think it's come close to, topping out. My friends, what a beautiful, beautiful trip down memory lane. And I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate all the great comments. Stronghold SHX, that's the one that I'm recommending. And yeah, and it's going to be great. Yeah, but sorry. Yes, I found you on Rumble now. I used to watch you and did look for you and couldn't find you, but now I have. So you can see, Mark, where that kind of a comment is kind of a dick move. Yeah, I appreciate your apology, but you can see where, somebody that's been doing what I've been doing for as long as I've been doing it and for as consistently as I've been doing it gets that kind of a comment. Yeah, I'm gonna have an issue with it. Yes. So, yeah. Yes. So Kraken is where you can store your crypto online, right? And you can have it in your phone. It's not a cold wallet. It's not a cold wallet. It's a what do you call it? It's a it's a crypto wallet online. A cold wallet is one you have physically. Now, the other thing is there's also something that Kai Trump is promoting called Crack, Krak. And Crack, and I can share, I didn't see where I could share this with you, but Crack is an online payment service that I'm probably going to share with you as well at some point. It's like Cash App, which I've lost. And PayPal, which I've lost, and Venmo, which I've lost. But Crack doesn't charge any fees going from one to another. So keep an eye out for that as well. So yes, my friends. Yes. Yeah, it was. And I do appreciate the apology. And I forgive you. I forgive you. But we often, this is part of it. Like, this, nameless, faceless names and, just lack of connection. We throw out like these comments that we would never say to someone at a party unless we were asking questions. It's oftentimes we go into a situation where we think we know what's going on and we actually don't. And that's where I come from. Like, I don't show up pretending to know everything. You know that about me. And I don't pretend to know more than you. I've never used the word intel in any of my shows. I've never said, I've got intel, come to me for intel. Those are influencers with low self-esteem who need to be somebody they're not, need to pretend to know something they don't. And that's those influencers, those fake anons, those are the people that have slowed down the Great Awakening and made a lot of people pissed and also taken people for a lot of money, which I have not. And everything. So there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. I literally don't understand crypto. Like, how do you buy gas or groceries with crypto? What about yard garage sales? So here's the thing about Kraken. I think you're going to be able to link. So you link your bank account to these accounts. So let's say you want to buy $100 worth of Stronghold. So you take $100 out of your bank. You just transfer it into Kraken. Then you buy the crypto, and then you hold that crypto in Kraken. If you want to buy something with the crypto, you can either transfer it with somebody that has that asset, or you can convert it back into US dollars and use that. So it's becoming more prevalent because we are breaking free from this system that has enslaved us, which is the debt fiat currency system. So, my friends, yeah, I always told you to do your research. Please do. Even especially when it comes to any kind of investment, any kind of crypto, and all that. But I will tell you, just taking that first couple steps of getting on Kraken, really easy. It benefits you. It benefits me. And they give you 75. Put it into some crypto that you do a little bit of research on. Even if that's the only thing you do it. But you might want to find, let me put $100 in here or $50 in here or something like that. And the reason people are doing that is because they expect a lot of these cryptos to go up to very high value. And I think some of them are going to do just that, just like we saw with Bitcoin. My friends, I have gone 3 hours and 14 minutes. I've been trying to keep the show to 2 hours, but we went down memory lane, and I will always make time for memory lane. And I am so just heartwarmed to have so many of you here and so many of you back with me after so many years not finding me, because 28 platforms, my friends. 28 platforms that I have lost. I've been terminated from over 7 years. And they successfully separated a lot of us. But you'll find my last several years work on Rumble. You'll also find it on X. And if you want to find my shows on X, you go to highlights under my profile. And if you go to highlights, almost all of those are my shows. And you'll see going back, at least 3.5 years. I don't know how many shows on X, but it's at Dave Snedeker on X if you're trying to find me on X. Okay, at Dave Snedeker. My friends, I'll see you tomorrow night, 8 Central. What I wanted to say about tomorrow. Tomorrow, 11:44 a.m., the 3i comet, right? 3i Atlas is going to be the closest to Earth. I think it's in water up there, by the way, above the dome. There's going to be the Schumann resonance. It's going to be at an all-time high, and the protection from the Earth, I don't know what they call it, is going to be at an all-time low. I showed a video on this the other day. That's all going to come together at 11:44. I will be meditating. I will be quiet. I will have my internet off. I will have my phone off. Sitting there. Why? Well, because meditation's good. I'll be just in silence. I'll probably be out underneath my two oak trees, maybe in the hammock, and just being. I don't know what all that means, honestly, but I do know that in moments like that, I try to give reverence to things like that, and just try to show the respect of, okay, this is happening. Let me just be, and let me not try to figure out what I'm going to do for tomorrow, or try to do, because we're always constantly doing that. So I just wanted to put that out there at 11:44 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not sure what time that is. Does anybody know the time specifically that's all happening? I will let everybody know so they don't have to look at it individually. Let me see if Supergrok knows. When will 3i Atlas be closest to Earth? Oh, it says December 19th, 2025. So that's off. The perihelion is October 29th to 30th, 2025, when it's on the far side of the sun from the Earth. I'm sorry, not the closest, but the far side of the sun from the Earth. Doesn't say time. Yeah, okay. UTC time approximately 11:45. And that would be current time, U.S. Central Time is already passed. Okay. So much for meditating. It was 6:20 p.m. tonight. I had that way off. I thought it was tomorrow, but that was UT time. Okay. So I guess it all happened. Whatever. So much for that. So it happened at 6:20 tonight. So never mind. Remember Rosanna, Dana? Never mind. You see why I don't pretend to know more than you? Do you see why? All right, my friends, be well. Thanks for being here tonight. Much love, and I hope you rest well. Good night.